Are you looking for an alternative to binding? Try my pillowcasing with built-in finish. The secret hidden opening gives you a smooth outside edge with no hand stitching. It's fast, it's fun. Use this for any small shape, a circle, square, or whatever. First, I layer my top on a compact batting and quilt it. Then I stitch about 1/8 of an inch from the outside and trim away the batting. Set it aside while I show you how to make the backing. Cut 2 backing rectangles. Place them together, right sides facing. Leave the center open and sew the sides together. The center opening is where you turn it to the right side. Okay, so here's our cut edges and here's the open part right here. You have this piece left under that goes that direction. So what I need to do now is to press this over. To get a straight piece, I'll take a piece of cardstock, align it to the seams, bring this over and give it a crisp press. Okay, you can see that using that cardstock gave me such a nice crisp edge. To that edge, I applied Steam-A-Seam 2. It is a fusible with a paper backing. I'll leave that paper backing on until the final step. Let's look at it from the other side. Okay, from the other side, this piece will go under and the one with the fusible will go on top. It's right side up and I'm ready to put my quilted piece on it. So here's the piece that I did earlier. Here it is quilted, and I'm going to turn it over, pin at each tip. Notice you have pins all the way around. Everything's lined smooth, and that the seam that goes across the bottom is not at the tips or the inside curves. Now I'm ready to sew it. It's also important to note that the batting that I chose to do this and quilt it, and it's a very low loft cotton batting. It's the best thing to do for a pillowcase. So you can see here that I've marked a little dot right along the seam that I can feel with my finger so that when I sew it, I know where to pivot. And you want your stitching to be exactly 1/4 of an inch. You don't want it any deeper than that. Okay, here we have it, and I've trimmed away this excess fabric. So I'll take the excess and get rid of that. And now we've got it sewn together all the way around. My next step is to come here on the inside curve and clip carefully right to the seam. I'll do that on all of these inside. You may also want to clip the tip off just slightly on the corners. When you're clipping that inside, be very careful not to clip into your stitching. Okay, now that they're all clipped, we're ready to turn it. So we'll turn this over. We're going to reach in this nice big opening and get to the tip. And I'll turn it a tip at a time, pushing that in. And I'll go all the way around, giving special attention to the tips, like this, all the way around. And now I can pull them to the right side. My next step is to press it. So before I seal this, I'm going to make sure I'm happy with every tip. I'll press the edges first, then remove the paper and seal the opening. Okay, so here it is. It's all finished. Let's look at the back. And you can see where I've added some stitching to hold this secure. And that joint in the center, it's practically invisible. Use this for any small shape, a circle, square, or whatever. If you'd like to see more of my tips and tricks, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.